So I went to York, played hockey there for 4.5 years. I studied commerce management. Prior to that, I played junior hockey in Chatham and then Pembroke, Ontario. I think like a lot of Canadians, it's kind of something you're put into in a young age. For as long as I can remember, it's something that, I've always been most passionate about and something that's kind of grown over the years. I think it has a unique way of allowing you to meet people and allowing you to grow as a person. And I've been pretty fortunate to meet some of my best friends and have some of my best life experiences, I guess, through it. Post York, played hockey a little bit professionally, minor pro in the States, and now I'm currently playing in Paris. It's Division 2 of France. The team's like a 25-minute subway outside of Paris. It's been a unique way to kind of use it as a card and see the world a little bit, which is something that I've always been wanting to do. So I've been able to do quite a few countries so far. I've done 25 so far. It's been a lot for the first couple of months, but like I said, that was kind of the whole idea of coming here. So it's been nice to actually go about and do that instead of just kind of saying I wanted to. Still working on the French. It's not going very well for me, but Duolingo has been a little bit helpful. My career was never anything to really marvel at, but just being at York and playing youth sports and being able to still develop that way has led to more opportunities that I've always wanted to pursue. Like obviously you're playing with or against like very high-end major junior talent and a lot of other really high-end players, and even being able to play in the States a little bit was a lot of fun and see a little bit of the Midwest United States and how the pro game works over there. After that, I went to Australia for a little bit, which is an opportunity I don't think I would have had without the youth sports background. I owe a lot of that to, where I played and the development I was fortunate enough to see through youth sports in New York. Like starting the nonprofit was something that I always wanted to do. Growing up, my dad was a campaign coordinator for the Downtown Mission in Windsor, so I think maybe subconsciously it was something I saw. And this summer going into my 4th year was when I started it, the Lionheart Initiative. I was serving Colt and his family at the restaurant I worked at. It was Joey Yorkdale. There's just kind of something about Colt. Started talking to him a little more, and super nice young kid with his family. His dad ended up starting to talk to me a little bit, and it was just kind of, oh, what do you do? Where do you go to school? Connect with me on LinkedIn after. Let's talk later about work and such. When I connected with him on LinkedIn, the first thing I saw was an article about Colt, his son. So at the time, Colt was just turning 7, but basically he was born with a defect in his spine. So essentially he's been learning how to walk since he was born, and I believe he was in a full body cast until he was like 4 months old. And then when he was 4 years old, he had to go through a 7-hour surgery, getting like bone grafts from his rib and hips, and he had to get a rod in his spine. And so that was kind of when I finally decided like, this is something that I really want to do and really want to get going. And Colt was kind of the inspiration behind all of it. My thing's always been uncovering true strength, courage, and friendship. And I think that's something that Colt and his story is the epitome of. He was a little bit more shy at first. Now being around the guys, than the times I've seen him, he's a lot more lively. He's a very energetic kid. He does everything with a smile on his face. I think for him, it's always been, there's no task too tough, and he just seems to enjoy all the small moments. And he's now an ambassador for Holland Bloorview. So he does like some marketing stuff and some videos for them. After it started, I was fortunate to get involved with Boys and Girls Club Jane and Finch, Down Syndrome Association of Toronto, Sage Care Memory Care, Hockey Gives Blood, and then obviously Holland Bloorview through Colt. So the first thing we did was first Colt's crusade. So we had him out to a game. He read out our starting lineup, did a puck drop. And then the second year we did the same thing, but we did a fundraiser. So we were able to raise $2,500 for Holland Blue Review and Cruiser Sports, which is an organization for young athletes with physical disabilities. I think you don't really realize how fortunate you are until you maybe see it from a different perspective, and you don't really realize how easy it is. You just give back some of your time and how much of a difference that makes, and how meaningful the connections you can make through it are. Have a ton of support from my friends, from my family, from teammates, and I think it's something that the York hockey team's done an incredible job of not necessarily getting behind, but just like becoming a part of. Being here, like the guys, they'll still go out to Boys and Girls Club. A few of my buddies went out to watch Colt play sledge hockey. So my buddy, like the guys still on the York team, there's Owen Galula, Brody McDougall, Aiden McIntosh, Connor Senkin. They went out and watched Colt play, and like he got his first ever sledge hockey point. I'm very thankful for the guys that I was there with and how they're still able to carry it on and be happy to be involved. It's January 19th against RMT this year. I believe it's a 12 o'clock Sunday game. We have another fundraiser going, so all the proceeds go to Holland Blue Review again. We have Dom Cozzolino from the Canadian national sledge hockey team coming. Fun for Colt to be able to be around him and hear a little bit more of his story. And our goal is to do an intermission game for youth sledge hockey players, kind of like they do through the professional ranks, and give people a way to see what sledge hockey's all about and how difficult it actually is. I think that's probably the last thing I was expecting when I went into work that day, but goes to show the importance of conversation, like wanting to show like genuine interest in people's lives regardless of where you are or what you're doing. Because yeah, meeting Colt that night spiraled into everything my nonprofit turned out being. Just take the first step regardless of what that is. For me, like I said, it was something I wanted to do for the longest time, but I just didn't really know how to get started necessarily. And then after I met Colt that one night, I just went home and made a couple social media accounts and reached out to as many different groups or people as I could. And I was fortunate to get involved with a few right off the bat. It's kind of a trickle down effect from there. Like the more people you meet, the more experience you get going out and being able to build those connections, the quicker things happen and the quicker you're able to get involved. I think going out and getting started is probably the most difficult part, but once you're over that hump and you kind of have the base of what you want to do and where you want to be with it, it gets a lot easier. When we go to the Boys and Girls Club, it's like an hour of our time. We'll just go help with school or play gym games. It means the world to them because it's just you being actively present and going out and building new friendships with people that maybe you wouldn't see every day. But now, like, I love those kids. I've been going for 3 years now, and like there's so many good memories there and so many kids that like I just genuinely look forward to seeing. If it wasn't for using a little bit of my time weekly to do that, there are connections that I never would have made, but I'm very fortunate to have them now, and you really just have to take that first step.